ending malaria. NYSC swears in 4,070 2025 batch A core members posted to FCT. And on sports, Nigeria's weightlifters in gold rush at Africa Weightlifting Championship.
A very good afternoon. Thank you for joining us on the 1 p.m. news on NTA Channel 5 Abuja, the Unity station. I am Abdullah Heja with the news. Let's begin from the presidency, where Nigeria's First Lady Oluremi Tinubu has renewed her call on all government agencies, private sector partners, and other critical stakeholders in the health sector to recommit to the fight against malaria with urgency and resolve. This is in her message marking the 2025 World Malaria Day, where she notes that malaria is not just a public health challenge for Nigeria, but a national emergency as the nation bears the heaviest global burden of the disease, harping on the need to work hard in order to reverse this trend. The First Lady describes the theme for the celebration, Malaria Ends With Us, Reinvest, Reimagine, Reignite, as both a call to action and a message of hope. She highlights the need to renew investment in life-saving interventions, increased awareness, and to revive the collective commitment needed to end malaria once and for all. Malaria ends with us, with our voices, our choices, and our actions, she says, while calling on Nigerians to ensure that their environment and surroundings are clean and free of stagnant water, which serves as breeding ground for mosquitoes. Every year, 34 out of every 1,000 live births in Nigeria result in neonatal deaths, a figure that underscores the urgent need for improved maternal and child health care. At the Limi Children's Hospital 4th Perinatal Symposium, leading experts emphasized the critical role of antenatal care in reversing this trend. Dr. Williams Taiwo, a specialist in obstetrics and gynecology, delivered an insightful overview of standard antenatal practices aimed at preventing morbidity. He stressed that antenatal care isn't just a routine visit, it is a life-saving intervention from screening and diagnosis to health education and disease prevention. Antenatal care creates the best possible conditions for both the mother and her baby. He stressed that at least 8 meaningful contacts with health care professionals during pregnancy can significantly reduce both maternal and perinatal complications. Adding to the discussion, Dr. Laura Kafo, consultant obstetrician and science. These details will come in our subsequent bulletin. Moving on to FCT administration matters, Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, has summoned chairman of the FCT area councils and the leadership of the Nigerian Union of Teachers, FCT Wing, for a meeting. Onosi Yakubu reports that the minister gave the marching order during the inspection tour of ongoing projects ahead of inauguration. The report.
According to the FCT Minister Nyesom Wike, the meeting aims to find a lasting solutions to the prolonged strike by primary school teachers over unresolved welfare issues. And this is in reaction to the earlier protests embarked upon by LEA primary school teachers on Thursday. He also clarifies that primary schools fall under the jurisdiction of the area councils, not the FCT administration, emphasizing that the councils are responsible for managing primary schools. He, however, appeals to the NUT for patience, assuring them that the matter will soon be resolved.
It's unfortunate, but we have to tell ourselves the simple truth. The area council chartered, after I have approved money to be sent to them for them to be able to pay the teachers, we were unable to do that. In fact, I got a report yesterday, and I'm able to summon all of them. You see, that's the problem we have in this country. By the time you apply the big stick now, people will be saying all kinds of things. I don't know why people don't have conscience. That these are teachers who take care of our children, and you are happy that you are not paying them their salary. This is primary school teachers, not secondary school teachers. You know the responsibility of the councils. They are in charge of the primary. So I've summoned them to a meeting.
Primary school teachers have embarked on multiple strikes over the non-payment of minimum wage and 40% peculiar allowance, among other demands. The minister embarked on another leg of inspection to mark the second anniversary of President Tinubu's administration. Onoze Yakubu, NTA News.
Now shift attention to security matters. The Chief of Defense Staff, General Christopher Musa, says the Nigerian Armed Forces in the fight against insecurity in the country. The CDS, in a message to senior media executives at a workshop in Abuja, proved their commitment as allies in the fight against insecurity through objective reportage of the Nigerian military operations.
Accountability and professionalism in all our operations, but we cannot do it alone. We need the support of a responsible, patriotic, and engaged media landscape.
The aim is to help us, to remind us of what we already know as senior journalists, that while we do our job professionally, there is a need for us to have the unity, the prosperity of our nation at heart.
The workshop also explored contemporary challenges in journalism as it relates to effective military defense of Nigeria's territorial integrity. Now, destruction and vandalism of critical national infrastructure and assets have been strongly condemned by a coalition of civil society organizations. The group has embarked on a campaign to sensitize youths to correct this negative trend and foster positive change. Hakimat Ali reports on the one-day summit held in Abuja.
The 2025 edition of the Youth, Civil Society and Stakeholders Summit focused on addressing the destruction and vandalism of critical national infrastructure and assets in Nigeria. Representatives of key sectors, including the Chief of Defense Staff, represented by Air Vice Marshal Kennedy Matualo, alongside other speakers, emphasized that protection of critical national assets remains a major security challenge in the country. They advocate multi-sectoral approach to effectively tackle the problem.
The fundamental cause we have in this country as a nation is affecting everybody, including the ones on the high table, is the level of our mentality, our mindset, the framing of our mind. In our own lackadaisical attitude, we always feign, I don't care. But you only care when you hear the news or when it affects you.
And we believe that by the time this document is put into full practice of protecting our infrastructure will no longer be a challenge.
The event was organized by the Vision One Leadership Development Initiative in collaboration with the National Council for Civil Society Organizations.
And with the civil society, we must complement its efforts by mobilizing stakeholders, civil society and the youth to see how we can sensitize members of the public to know the importance of taking ownership of government infrastructures by safeguarding them against vandalism. And I'm calling on the youth to have a partnership in activism by shunning crime, shunning vandalism, drug abuse, and among other things that is confronting the society. This is a time for us to build our nation.
We have to call on civil societies to unite towards protecting what we have. And I'm grateful with this organization because they have been consistent in doing that.
Recommendations from the summit include establishment of clearer laws and the imposition of strict penalties to deter saboteurs and other individuals involved in such destructive activities. With all commending the initiative, the gathering ended with a call on all to prioritize the protection of national infrastructure and assets which are provided to ensure easy access to food, water, energy, transportation, health, and other essentials for everyday life. In Abuja, Hakimat Aliu, NTA News.
Thank you, Akimet. Now, the National Youth Service Corps has successfully maintained its pivotal role in including national unity and integrity while building socio-cultural bridges across different ethno-cultural regions of the country. The coordinator of CTNYC, Samson Ateli, said this at the official opening of the Batch A Stream 1 Youth Corps member deployed to Kubwa FCT camp.
Warmly welcome these patriotic prospective corps members who have answered the clarion call of selfless service to our great nation, Nigeria.
Peaceful, prosperous, hate-free.
He further said the scheme has further broadened and enriched the lives of Nigerian graduates by prioritizing the acquisition of skills for wealth creation through skills acquisition and entrepreneurship development program. Core members who say that there is a core member who says there is ability and disability expresses delight being part of this batch of the national service. A total of 4,070 corps members have been registered, comprising 1,793 males and 2,272 females. Now, the 2025 Unified Tertiary Matriculation Examination (UTME) has officially commenced across Nigeria, with over 2 million candidates participating at various accredited computer-based test CBT centers nationwide. The examination began as scheduled at all accredited CBT centers in Abuja. At a CBT center in Maitama, Abuja, candidates arrived early, particularly those slated for 7 a.m. session. The process went smoothly with no major hitches reported. You're watching the 1 p.m. news on NTA Channel 5 Abuja. There will be more stories after this timeout. Join us again.
I am Oluremi Tinubu, the global and national Stop TB champion. Many people have asked why I've chosen to champion the fight against a disease like tuberculosis. My reason stems from a deep personal experience. I once had a friend who unfortunately fell ill and concealed the nature of his sickness until it was too late. Eventually, after he passed, we discovered he had tuberculosis. Sadly, due to the stigma and discrimination surrounding the disease, he would not speak up or seek for help we had known earlier. Tuberculosis is an airborne disease that primarily affects the lungs, but can also impact other parts of the body. Being airborne means anyone, regardless of their social economic status, can contract it. In Nigeria, 1 person dies of TB-related illness every 7 minutes, amounting to 206 deaths every day. Globally, 1 person. These deaths are entirely preventable because TB is curable if detected and treated early. If you or someone you know has been coughing for 2 weeks or more, coughing up blood, experiencing night sweats, or losing weight drastically, it might be TB. Please visit the nearest government hospital or primary health care center for proper diagnosis and treatment. TB treatment is free in all government and some private health facilities. Let us also remember not to stigmatize or discriminate against TB. I call on all stakeholders, especially the private sector, to join us in the fight to end TB in Nigeria. Together, we can make a difference. Remember, TB anywhere is TB everywhere. End TB by 2030. Yes, we can.
I'd like to know you're still there. Now, let's join our business desk for business news. And Hakimat, take it from here.
Minister of Economy Wale Edun leads Nigerian delegation to 2025 IMF Springs meeting holding in Washington, D.C. Good afternoon and welcome to Business News this week. I am Hakimat Ali. The Minister of Economy Wale Edun led Nigerian delegation to the 2025 International Monetary Fund Springs meeting holding in Washington, D.C. The IMF Spring meeting aims to foster macroeconomic stability, provide policy advice, and assist nations face. The IMF Spring meetings aim to foster macroeconomic stability, provide policy advice, and assist nations facing balance of payments challenges. The gathering includes representatives from 190 countries, bringing together finance ministers, central bank governors, and key economic stakeholders to discuss pressing global financial challenges. The Nigerian delegation features senior officers from the Central Bank of Nigeria, chief executive officers of financial institutions, and representatives from the private sector, civil society organizations, and non-government. In circulation decreased to 5 trillion naira as of March 2025, making a decline from 5.04 trillion naira recorded in February 2025. This represents a further reduction from 5.24 trillion naira in January 2025, according to the latest money and credit statistics on the website of the Central Bank of Nigeria. Naira in circulation is the total amount of physical currency circulating in the economy, representing money that is available for daily transactions, investments, and savings. Inflation. To other matters, the Nigerian Customs Service has said that the total trade value handled by the service trillion naira as revenue during the review period. And now to our local food items in markets across Nigeria, originating in northern Nigeria's grains market as a unit of mass for rice.
You can see the difference between this mudu, and this mudu. So I think this mudu is a bit more standard. The rubber mudu is more standard. Then the iron one, because the green one is just one, so they've not duplicated it. I don't think there is any supervision or people going around to ensure. They call it
a module measurement system for the area council markets as a matter of urgency to address pressing issues at the time. However, studies revealed that there has been no adherence to us and buyers to question the integrity of traders in Abuja markets.
And that's the much we can take on business news this week. The news continues shortly.
Time now for sports news. Let's join our sports desk for that.
Chairman of the National Sports Commission, NSC, Malam Shahudiko, has reassured Nigerian athletes of regular internal competitions as a key priority of the Renewed Hope initiative for Nigerian sports economy mandate of the Commission. The chairman said of this when he declared open the 6th edition of the One Service, One Medal Awesome Games inside the member of the MQ Abiola National Stadium, Abuja, on Thursday. The chairman emphasized the importance of organizing such games, which, among other things, serves as a veritable tool to assure the athletes that the Commission will soon embark on infrastructural revamping of the country's sporting facilities, and the Abuja National Stadium will soon undergo a total facelift, especially with the pitch.
Is the president of weightlifting federation.
Meanwhile, Nigeria is making a bold statement at the ongoing African Senior Weightlifting Championship in Mauritius, with the contingent topping standings with 7 gold, 4 silver and 1 bronze medal as the championship head climbers as at Thursday. Rafiatou Lawal, 59 kg, and Didi Onome, 55 kg, led the charge, each claiming 3 gold medals in their respective weight categories. Lawal, 2022 Commonwealth Games gold medalist, was in a class of her own, dominating the 59 kg event with confidence and grace. In addition to their stellar performances, Edith Young Joseph captured 1 gold and 2 silver medals in the 73 kg category, while Tuesday Emmanuel added 2 silver medals and 1 bronze to Nigeria's tally. The African Senior Weightlifting Championship continues through April 28, with Team Nigeria eyeing even more podium finishes and proving its dominance on the continental stage. With sports
We say congratulations to the Nigerian contingent, and as we expect more medals, in our KT, I think that's a good one after receiving that financial motivation from the National Sports Commission. On that note, we want to thank you for joining us on the 1 p.m. news. Let's do it at 7, where we bring you more news and updates. I am Abdullah Hajia saying good afternoon.